Seahawks Darnold delivers poise under pressure. A game-winning drive seals thrilling victory over Cardinals. In the high-stakes world of the NFL, where every snap can swing the momentum of a season, few moments define a team's character quite like a last-second drive for victory. On a crisp Thursday night at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, the Seattle Seahawks found themselves in just such a scenario against the rival Arizona Cardinals. With the score knotted at 20-20 and mere seconds ticking away in the fourth quarter, backup-turned-hero quarterback Sam Darnold stepped into the spotlight. Calmly orchestrating a clutch sequence of plays, Darnold set up kicker Jason Myers for a 52-yard field goal as time expired, securing a hard-fought 23-20 win. This wasn't just a game, it was a statement of resilience for a Seahawks squad that's suddenly the talk of the league at 3-1. The victory wasn't without its drama. Seattle had built a seemingly comfortable 20-3 lead midway through the third quarter, thanks to a balanced attack and opportunistic defense. But Arizona, fueled by the home crowd's energy and their own desperation to salvage a disappointing start to the season, mounted a ferocious comeback. The Cardinals rattled off 17 unanswered points, capped by a Kyler Murray touchdown pass that tied the game with under 4 minutes remaining. What followed was a microcosm of the Seahawks' 2025 campaign, flaws exposed but unbreakable will prevailing. The setup. A tale of two quarterbacks and a team in transition. To appreciate the magnitude of Darnold's heroics, it's essential to rewind the clock on Seattle's quarterback carousel. Entering the 2025 season, the Seahawks were coming off a rollercoaster 2024 where veteran Geno Smith had capably steered the ship but ultimately fell short of playoff glory. In a bold offseason move, General Manager John Schneider orchestrated a trade sending Smith to the New York Jets in exchange for draft picks and cap relief. The move cleared the decks for Darnold, a former number 3 overall pick out of USC who signed a lucrative 3-year, $100.5 million extension with Seattle, signaling the front office's unyielding belief in his untapped potential. Darnold, now 28 and in his 7th NFL season, arrived in Seattle after stints with the Jets, Panthers, 49ers, and Vikings, where he'd shown flashes of brilliance amid a nomadic career plagued by inconsistency and injury. This year, however, he's been a revelation. Through 4 games, Darnold boasts 5 touchdown passes against just 2 interceptions, completing 68% of his throws for an average of 260 yards per outing. His poise has transformed Seattle's offense from a grinded-out unit into a dynamic, explosive force, ranking 3rd in the league in scoring at 28.5 points per game. The Cardinals, meanwhile, entered the matchup at 1-2, grappling with their own identity crisis under second-year coach Jonathan Gannon. Kyler Murray, the electric dual-threat QB, has been a bright spot with 785 passing yards and 4 scores, but the defense, ranked 29th in points allowed, has been a sieve. Arizona desperately needed a win to stay afloat in the NFC West, a division now dominated by Seattle's early surge. Game flow. From dominance to desperation. The game kicked off under the lights with Seattle asserting control early. Darnold wasted no time, marching the Seahawks 75 yards on their opening possession, capped by a 24-yard touchdown bootleg run by running back Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet, stepping up in the absence of injured starter Kenneth Walker III, finished with 92 rushing yards on 18 carries, providing the ground-and-pound balance that kept Arizona's front 7 honest. Defensively, new coordinator Mike Macdonald, hired from Baltimore in a splashy free agency coup, unleashed his signature pressure packages. Seattle sacked Murray 3 times in the first half, with edge rusher Boye Mafe notching 1.5. The result, a 10-3 halftime lead, including a Jason Myers field goal that seemed routine at the time. The third quarter saw Seattle pull away further. On a third and 8 from the Arizona 45, Darnold unleashed a scrambling masterpiece. Rolling left under duress, he floated a 32-yard dart to rookie tight end Elijah Arroyo, who hauled it in while toe-tapping inbounds. 2 plays later, Charbonnet plunged in from 5 yards out, ballooning the lead to 17-3. Arroyo, a 4th-round pick out of Miami, has been a revelation in his limited snaps, with this grab marking his 2nd touchdown of the season. But football's cruel unpredictability reared its head in the 4th. Myers, Seattle's reliable kicker since 2019, shanked a 53-yard attempt with 6:52 left, clanging it wide right, a rare miss for the 34-year-old veteran who's converted 86% of his field goals over the last 3 years. Seizing the gift, Arizona's offense awoke. Murray orchestrated a 12-play, 75-yard drive, finding wideout Marvin Harrison Jr. for a 22-yard score to cut the deficit to 20-10. After a Seattle 3-and-out, The Cardinals struck again. A 36-yard bomb to tight end Trey McBride set up a 1-yard Murray sneak, tying the game at 20 with 3:45 on the clock. Missed opportunities compounded Seattle's woes. Cornerback Kobe Bryant bobbled what should have been a pick six on Murray's next throw, fumbling it out of bounds. Safety Julian Love later dropped an easy interception on a tipped pass, leaving the Seahawks sideline in stunned silence. As the 2-minute warning loomed, all eyes turned to Darnold. The heroic drive. Darnold's ice in the veins. With 2:23 remaining and the ball at their own 40 after Arizona's short kickoff, Seattle faced a do-or-die scenario. No timeouts, clock ticking, and a raucous Cardinals crowd baying for blood. Enter Darnold, the cool customer, as Macdonald would later call him. On first down, a conservative handoff to Charbonnet gained 3 yards, forcing a second and 7. Darnold surveyed the field, his eyes locking onto wide receiver Jaxon Smith-Njigba streaking down the left sideline. With Arizona's secondary blitzing, Darnold planted his feet and rifled a 22-yard back shoulder beauty, perfectly placed over the cornerback's outstretched arms. Smith-Njigba, the 2023 first-rounder out of Ohio State, snagged it effortlessly, later recounting, "Sam made a perfect throw, honestly. Back shoulder throw. The corner was on top of me, so he just placed it perfectly, and it was an easy grab." Ball at the Arizona 38 with 23 seconds left. 3rd and goal territory, but Seattle opted for the field goal. Myers trotted out, the weight of the miss still fresh. Yet, as Darnold noted post-game, Myers' mentality is forged in fire. "I golfed with him this offseason, and that's his mentality in golf, too. He'll hit a bad shot and he'll come back and stripe it on the next one. He's got that mentality. He gets pretty frustrated when he doesn't make them, but then he comes back and it's almost automatic when you know he's going to come in and knock the next one down." The snap was clean, the hold steady, and Myers' leg true. The 52-yarder split the uprights as the clock hit 0, sending Seahawks fans into delirium and silencing the home crowd. In 1:23 of game time, Darnold had completed 2 OF2 passes for 22 yards, no sacks, no panic. It was his second game-winning drive of the season, underscoring a maturation that's turned skeptics into believers. Standout stars. Smith-Njigba shines, defense bends but doesn't break. While Darnold earned the headlines, this win was a team effort laced with individual brilliance. Smith-Njigba, often overshadowed by DK Metcalf's highlight reel catches, exploded for 79 yards on just 4 receptions, all in the fourth quarter. His 36-yard grab earlier in the frame had set up a Myers field goal attempt, the one that missed, but the finale was pure clutch. "Jax, man, one of the best receivers in the league," raved Love. "People need to put some respect on his name. He's the real deal." Through 3 games prior, JSN led the NFL with 323 receiving yards, the best start to a Seahawks career in franchise history. On defense, despite the lapses, Macdonald's unit held Arizona to 3 of 12 on 3rd downs and limited Murray to 221 yards and 1 score. Linebacker Tyrell Dodson led with 11 tackles, while the pass rush, bolstered by free agent addition Jadeveon Clowney, sacked Murray 4 times total. For Darnold, the drive capped a masterful night. 18 of 26 for 242 yards and a touchdown, plus his scrambling flair that evoked prime Lamar Jackson. Reflecting on the Arroyo connection, he said, "I'm really happy he came down with that one because I think I had 20 yards in front of me of green grass. So I'm really happy he made that play." Macdonald's masterclass, coaching through chaos. First-year head coach Mike Macdonald, the 38-year-old defensive savant who orchestrated Baltimore's vaunted unit, has Seattle playing with a swagger reminiscent of the Legion of Boom era. His post-game praise for Darnold was effusive. "Sam's playing out of his mind right now. You see him, he's just such a cool customer. But he's a guy on a mission. He's so determined for us to be a great team and a great offense, and he's doing a great job leading us." Macdonald's trust in Myers was equally telling. Despite the earlier shank, there was little doubt on the sideline about the game winner, he revealed. "It's this unflappable belief that has the Seahawks atop the NFC West, tied with the Rams but owning the tiebreaker." Looking ahead, a 3-1 start and Ryder Cup dreams. As the confetti fell virtually, at least, for the away team, Darnold kept it grounded. It was just another game. "Obviously it's in the same stadium, but it's week 4 and we did a good job today, but there's a lot of stuff that we can clean up. But I'm going to enjoy this 3-day break or whatever we've got and watch some Ryder Cup, so I'm excited for that. But it's going to be a good time to be His words trail off in the article, but the sentiment is clear: savor the win, but stay hungry. For Seattle, this victory isn't a fluke, it's validation of a rebuilt roster blending youth, Arroyo, Smith-Njigba with savvy vets Darnold, Myers. The NFC West gauntlet awaits, a primetime clash with the 49ers in Week 6, followed by the Rams. At 3-1, the Seahawks are playoff locks in most projections, but Macdonald preaches process. In a league where quarterbacks are kings and drives like Darnold's become legend, Thursday's thriller cements Seattle as contenders. Darnold's calm direction wasn't just a drive, it was a declaration. The Seahawks are here to stay, and they're just getting started.